live interact with the eyewitness Sasquatch, which is one of the questions today. I've been away for a couple weeks, really preparing for expeditions like crazy. Everything is just drones and mountain bikes and mud and dirt and shoes and equipment and and I've been working my butt off preparing shows for Wild TV. It's gonna be 5 episodes. Thanks to Hex, the human electromagnetic concealment suits that are freaking amazing. I've been using those things forever. Before I ever started having good success with Sasquatch, I was making a human electromagnetic concealment suit from a ghillie suit. We called it a Gigantopithecus cloaking device, which it wasn't really a device, it's a suit. And it was basically a lead-lined ghillie cloak that we made, and it worked great. And then Hex came out with their amazing stuff, and it's better. It's amazing. So thank you so much for tuning in every day. Also, we have Sasquatch. I should get it. Actually, just give me 1 second here. I'm gonna grab the reason we have 5 episodes. There was only 4, and then Sasquatch Moonshine came along. So it's fantastic stuff. Yeah, it's really good, cool. It's a local distiller, and I think they have amazing stuff. I'm not much of a drinker, as you well know, but I don't even like beer. I'm weird, like I can't stand the taste of beer, but I love that people love beer. I wish I could appreciate it more. I don't really like wine. I tried so hard. This is amazing stuff, though. They've got like blueberries in it, and it's pretty amazing. So some of the questions from Instagram. So someone asked me, any new contact? Not really. Not since last season. Not since October. I had some good contact. So and I filmed it. We had some sightings last year that were really impressive. Terribly blurry, horrible photograph. But the photograph that we have was substantiated by everything else. A big black object was seen. Smells were smelt, and multiple individuals witnessed this. So we had a really cool Sasquatch encounter right about it was up in Radium, so it was about half a kilometer away from where Survivor Man had all his amazing success. When the Sasquatch came around, left tracks, rock knocked for us, took apples, all the amazing things. The top of the head of in case you guys don't know, I mean, he filmed the top of the head of a Sasquatch, which is so exciting because that Sasquatch was blasting through there. It's just amazing that we were able to get that stuff. A lot of people ask me about cloaking. It was one of the questions. I don't think they cloak. So the only thing I can attribute to cloaking is if they hit you with infrasound, it stuns you and you can't see properly. Maybe, but cloaking, I don't do cloaking. It's not something that I just can't see them. There have been times where I guarantee you they would have cloaked if they could have. They couldn't cloak for me. So there were like video 3. If he could have cloaked, he would have cloaked. You didn't have to see him running faster than the fastest man, some 9-foot tall monster human being running faster than a human being can run. It was a Sasquatch in video 3, and if he could have cloaked, believe me, he would have. He didn't. Jake could have cloaked for me multiple times to get away from me. He never did. I've never seen anything to do with cloaking. You've asked me about the Patterson footage. Patterson footage is legit, guys. 99.9% convinced the Patterson footage is absolutely real. But then somebody asked me about the Freeman footage. I don't know about the Freeman footage, but Paul Freeman was legit. I'll tell you 2 things about Paul Freeman, though. I'm very convinced he hoaxed a hand imprint, and I'm very convinced he had legitimate Sasquatch tracks and legitimate handprints. So again, 99% convinced. I went through it with Jeff Meldrum. It's quite clear to me that he knew what a Sasquatch handprint looked like, and he made one out of the mud to impress. And as a tracker, I wasn't fooled by the unless there was a real Sasquatch print there, and then he pushed it around. And if he did do that, then that's not authentic. So either way, he was messing with. You guys can hear me good, right? So I didn't ask that. So Royal Creations, you guys, can you hear me okay? Everything looks good. No one's saying anything. Yes, Michael, thank you. Okay, so you guys can hear me good. So I don't know about the Freeman footage, but Freeman knew Sasquatch. I'll tell you this about Paul Freeman. He knew Sasquatch were real. He was responsible for casting some of the most incredible Sasquatch tracks I have ever seen. In fact, I believe he's in the Jimmy Chilcott evidence. So, and if he did hoax it, if he did fake something, he was just trying to substantiate the species is real. I have nothing but respect for Paul Freeman, because it's I don't know, it can get frustrating. Paul Freeman, John Bitternagel, a half a dozen other people, Grover Krantz that you can think of, went their lives without ever having had this discovery come forward, and that's not happening. This is going to be done. This discovery, guys. I have some extremely exciting new people, new technologies coming involved that I'm praying come together this summer. If not this summer, then probably next year. This discovery is done in 3 years, guys. So I've never said this before. I'm being real conservative. If I get what I want this year, the discovery's finished. Like, we're gonna have a movie that's gonna absolutely blow your minds. Mind blowing, Bigfoot, unreal. The technology's here. You can't hide from me anymore. It's time. It's really time to make this discovery. So I know this has been going on for so long, but nobody has ever heard me say this. I believed back in 2006 when I had video 2 and 3, and I knew I could get more footage. I believed that I could wrap the discovery up in a few years, but I was quite ignorant about the reality and the difficulty of how it is to do this. And I'm no spring chicken anymore. I'm a very seasoned veteran. I am the master sergeant telling you. I'm the sergeant major telling you. I am the general telling you who's experienced, boots on the ground, beast, been here, done that. This discovery's done in 3 years. Done. So no chance I don't get it finished. No chance. And I hope somebody else beats me to the punch. That would be my dream come true. It's not a competition with me. I just want the discovery done. So people are asking me to take me. That's what I do. Take me, take me, take me. I'm doing expeditions this year. I'm going on an expedition right away. And this will be, there won't be a show for a couple weeks. Could probably figure out why that'll be, because I'm not going to be in civilization. It's time to get back out in the bush. It's time to do recon. It's time to get back in the expedition modes. And my plan is 1 week in, 1 week out. So it's a tremendous amount of work for me. And but it's important. That's a lot of boots on the ground time, guys. That's what we do. That's what I do every year. And the expeditioners that have been coming back are seasoned veterans, people that have been doing this for years. New people that are local, that are gonna long-term relationships I'm building. I'm so excited about it. Like, real, just amazing people that are that have what is necessary to get this discovery done. The cooperation has grown and expanded dramatically, and I couldn't be more excited about the discoveries coming up. So I wanted to read just before I get to the questions. So I was in Nia Bay. I love Nia Bay. Nia Bay was such a wonderful experience. My friends there, Larry and Analia, just salt of the earth, 10 out of 10. I couldn't have been better treated. I've I've traveled so many times to meet people, to be hosted by people. A lot of times not so good. I was in the South, in Texas, poor. Southern hospitality is very poor. I'm not gonna lie. Just the people, right? I've had about half the time I get very poorly hosted. I couldn't have been hosted better. And as a host, as a human being who hosts people up in the north, you want to see northern hospitality? Come on expedition with me. I take excellent, spectacular care of my people. Nobody's ever been injured on my expedition. Everybody eats massive amounts of food, as much as they can eat, and they still lose weight. So it could be, people call it the Sasquatch diet. When you're hiking and working every day, the amount of effort that we put into it, and we eat only really, really good food, you lose weight. Like, people come out, they lose 10 pounds easily. I'm going into this 230 pounds by the end of the expeditions. If I eat like a horse and just avocados and the fat off the chicken and everything, I'll be 215 by October. I hope only 215, sometimes 210. It's hard. It wears on you. There's no way I could eat enough. My stomach is unable to digest enough food to sustain what I need. I'd like to come into the expeditions at 240, but it's not going to happen this year. So anyways, Jennifer, I was talking about Nia Bay, which I'm going to go there every year once COVID's over. I just can't say enough good things about Nia Bay and the native people there, and Larry and Alia. So this letter, this is on Facebook. The Mackay tribe member, which is Nia Bay, told a story on expedition. He said they used to, generations ago, invite Sasquatch to their poliches once a year. I'm assuming that's like a powwow. They shared food and games and were able to talk to each other. One year, during the game, wrestling, a Sasquatch accidentally killed one of the Mackay. The Mackay got mad and explained to the Sasquatch that this was murder, which the Sasquatch didn't have any concept of, which is a little confusing to me, but I respect the story of the elder. The Sasquatch got very mad and never came back to the Palaches. So the bond between them and the ability to communicate over the years were slowly lost over the years. Have I heard any similar stories? Yes. The Cree natives told me that the Sasquatch speak Old Cree, and Old Assiniboine, which are extinct languages. I don't know how to. So generations ago, they used to talk with the Sasquatch, trade with the Sasquatch. That's in northern Alberta, and the Assiniboine people. They're on. They're in British Columbia, on the very east side of British Columbia. So yes, I've heard many stories like that, of where they used to trade and communicate. And now that languages, it's like the natives who are the most remote, the most outgoing, those people whose languages have been lost, who didn't come and bond with society. It kind of makes sense, doesn't it? The people that didn't want to come and be part of civilization, those are the people that were communicating with the Sasquatch, and those are the languages that are extinct. Pretty scary. And to understand, I've seen in my lifetime two languages, two native languages go completely extinct. Nobody knows how to speak those languages anymore, gone forever. That's the history of your people. And the stuff I see being lost in this generation, it brings tears to my eyes. The magic and wonder. Some of these trackers, like my teacher Musqua, there'll never be another tracker like that. I hope I'm wrong, but the way he could track, the things he could do, the man was it was spectacular. And maybe we can get back. Maybe the Sasquatch can lead us back. Maybe my sons or your sons or daughters can have a relationship with the Sasquatch that helps them get those kind of tracking skills, because it's magic, ladies and gentlemen. It's absolutely magical, the way when you're connected to the earth spiritually, emotionally, physically. When you're connected like that, the genius and the love and the positivity and the serenity that comes out of you is, it's organic and beautiful. So, and I get to experience that sometimes. So, very, very exciting stuff. All right, let's do some questions here. You guys have been waiting long enough. Thank you for your patience. I live in Hoodspot, Washington, and 3 weeks ago, a friend of mine who doesn't believe Bigfoot said he saw one at a friend's of mine's house on a lake. Well, that's Cappy McCappy. How's it going, my friend? Well, that's awesome. Congratulations. Yeah, the Bigfoot will make you a believer. I met a gentleman just last week who definitively heard a Sasquatch. He knows it was no animal. The guy's got ridiculous backcountry and wilderness experience, and yeah, he heard one, but he's still not sure about it. So, Meech Auger, Todd, truthfully, how is the moonshine? Well, the moonshine is it's not strong. It's 20% alcohol, 40% proof, and really cool Sasquatch logos on it. I mean, I think it's fantastic though. My mom, who's not a drinker, loves it, and then some expeditioners have tried it and they absolutely love it. So he saw it cut. This is Cappy talking about his thing. He saw it crossing right to left through a clear cut. It says a clear cut, but I'm assuming he means through a clear cut. So right to left. Well, and how did it move, Cappy? What was different about the way it moved? Where was it looking? And tracks, substantiate it with tracks, more evidence, right? So a good tracker, like myself, someone says they saw a Sasquatch, I'll go find tracks. And if there's no tracks there, there's no evidence to substantiate it. Doesn't mean that there was not a Sasquatch there, but almost every time I find tracks, and that substantiates it, and that's very exciting. So, Eric Ramsey says, "I truly respect your work, Todd, sir. Thank you. A lot to hear in your videos, top notch, sir. Just know that. Oh, well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. This is good quality stuff, because we are a cooperation. All of us here, all of you, help me. Every single one of you, the skeptics, the believers, the non-believers, we all help. I feel like I'm just a vessel for all of us. Does that make sense? That yeah, I just feel like we're a vessel, and yeah, I'm so excited. When have you ever heard me say it's coming? The discovery is coming. It's coming. Like 3 years. Mark it on your calendar. So, and maybe just this year. It's that amazing. It's that close. So, Wild TV's got 5 episodes. I could have my own TV show. It's been hard for me because I'm doing it mostly alone. So I have to do post production, the filming, writing it, the audio. It's a lot of work. So they're good episodes. I was just honored to be able to do them and put them on Wild TV. I just want amazing content for you guys. Work hard to get just absolutely fantastic. If I'm going to take up your time, I want to have I want you to bang. I want you to look at it and go, man, that was awesome. And so they're good. They're good. So are you ever gonna record interacting with a Bigfoot? Are you ever gonna record interacting like with a Bigfoot? Well, I think King Kong I have, right? I got a log thrown at me. Uh, video 8, Komodo's looking at me. Video 7, there's a Sasquatch. He's just injured himself, and he looks over at me. He's thermal image, right? So I feel like I've done a lot of that stuff. There's a lot of footage I intended to go back to, and I can't. It's probably damaged. The hard drives are wrecked. I literally have. This is not an exaggeration. Like these hard drives, these are 2 terabyte hard drives. You see them everywhere. I have literally 100 of these, and for me to go through these all, and old ones, like big old, I have these big old ones that have the plug-in, and it's got so much data on it. And I even, back in the days of tapes, right, I got so much stuff. I just don't have time to go through that. There'll be a point where I can get some people working with me here in the offices and going through that stuff. It's a trust thing. So Lon, thank you for, you can't wait for the new documentary. There's new documentaries, guys. There's Discovering Bigfoot Part 2. There's California Bigfoot. They're all right here. They're right here on these hard drives and this computer. They just need to be done through post-production. So fake stream media says Todd has no real proof. Well, I disagree with you. And it's not about Todd. It's about with what we've all gathered as proof, what Jimmy Chilcott's done, what Jeff Meldrum's done, what Adrian Erickson has derived, what the Patterson footage is. That's real proof. And if I took this to a court of law, which I intend to do, there's no chance I would prove this beyond a reasonable doubt. So I strongly disagree with you, fake stream media. And there's nothing fake about what I do. Don't take my word for it. Ask Survivor Man, ask Jeff Meldrum. The late, great John Bitternagel had nothing but amazing things to say. I took John Bitternagel into the most remote backcountry wilderness, and we had an awesome time together. So Cappy McCappy says, I purchased a new drone and plan on visiting my friend to glass that clear cut. That's fantastic. Really good idea, Cappy. It'd be interesting to see how a Sasquatch would interact with a drone. I've seen like predators like lions, how they'll approach the drone, not afraid of it. And yeah, African animals, I've seen a lot of real interesting looks, the way they're not afraid of drones. So with Sasquatch, who knows what you can get, and every individual is going to be different. I would suspect though they would avoid them. What what is a veteran, and how can we be with what is a veteran, and how can we be with this experience of this? I don't know what you mean. Show is the time Bigfoot and the grizzly bear fought. Huh. Oops, got other stuff going on here. Yeah. Joker says, "What's up?" There's Andy. Thank you for tuning in, Andy. Nice to see you. Amino acids. Cappy says, I don't know what he's talking about. Is it like finding Bigfoot a new star? You get named after it? No. Uh, is like finding a new star? You get named after it? I don't know what you mean, IP man. Hi Todd, big fan. Thank you. Something with a Y or Leo. Walter, hello. Tell me more about Bigfoot clairvoyance. That's from Jesus Gonzalez. Bigfoot clairvoyance. I'm not sure the definition of clairvoyance, but they can feel your energy, and they can what's the word I want to look for here precisely? They can sense your intent. This is not just a Sasquatch thing. Dogs do it. I've seen cows do it. Approach a cow, sneak up on a cow, get on the ground and sneak up. The cow will lose its mind. Walk up to a cow and just relax and have no problem, and the cow will pay no attention to you. So see the intent difference. I was stalking, cow didn't like it. I walked in, not a care in the world, and the cow pays no attention to me. And the Sasquatch are at another level because they're a wild, amazing, evolved, wild, indigenous species that, and it's more than that. There's a lot of connectivity mentally. I feel like the more time I spend with Sasquatch, the more my empathic ability grows and becomes better. And maybe it's not the Sasquatch, maybe it's just wilderness, but I feel like they stimulate a part of my brain. Just like it's like I get exercise in my brain in a certain area that they can stimulate on me, and my abilities to be empathic and to move and feel my way through the wilderness are growing. So I pray you get through to the masses. Well, thank you, Michael Dawes. We will. So It's coming. I have no doubt about it. Why did you ever shave my beard? Personal reasons. And maybe I'll grow it back. There's other things going on in my life that have severely damaged me in many ways, and family court, right? So if you're a father, you have no rights. In case people didn't know that, but so I've been doing that for 2.5 years. Todd, have you ever heard a time getting Todd, have you ever had a hard time getting this discovery done? Oh, it's been hell, Ben. It's been hell. I take people out and show them Sasquatch. I used to joke when Trump was president. I tell people, hell, I'd take Donald Trump out and show him a Sasquatch, but nobody believe him, and I'd probably scare the rest of the hair off his head. So, fake stream media, show us proof. Watch my movie. So, you do your homework. Who are you, fake stream media? Why don't you go do some research? Why don't you watch the episodes of Survivor Man Bigfoot? Because I bet you 90% of people on here have seen all that stuff. So go do your homework and then get back to me. Obviously, you haven't seen my movie. What's the videos? I have DNA. I mean, what more do you want? I was going to court, Jimmy Chilcott. Jimmy Chilcott's evidence is outstanding. He was going to come testify. Uh, Bob Gimlin was going to come testify. He's part of the Bob Gimlin, the Patterson Gimlin footage, right? So the evidence is overwhelming, and people eyewitness accounting puts people in jail. If I had a court case and I had eyewitness accountings just from, let's say, one province of Canada, let's say British Columbia, there'd be 1,000 people would show up and testify. They'd swear on a stack of Bibles they saw Sasquatch. Is that not evidence? So, and believe me, 1,000 people would be no problem. They'd have 6 months worth of testimony. People, judges, doctors, lawyers, firefighters, police officers that were on duty that saw Sasquatch. These are men and women of absolutely impeccable integrity and character that will all swear they've seen a Sasquatch. Is that not evidence? To me, it's the most powerful piece of evidence. To see the passion in these people's eyes, to hear the authenticity of their experiences is just absolutely mind blowing to me. Uh, Joker John Roberts. Have you ever heard of the giant the U.S. Army fought in Afghanistan? Heard they called it and transported it somewhere? Heard they killed it. Yeah, I didn't hear anything about that. Could be though. Afghanistan is not close to China. There'd be a Yarn in Russia, a Yeti in China. Gosh, I've seen people talk about John Bitternagel told me about them in Africa, and like real serious evidence of them existing in Africa. So, but not in South America. They have the Alush down there, even like into Mexico. Once you get past Texas and go south, doesn't seem to be much evidence of Sasquatch down there. Just probably because of the heat, right? Do they have like brown bears wouldn't be down there? Black bears? No, I don't think so. It's very specific with the temperature. I'm always watching. Thank you for sharing such great information. You're welcome. Bouncer Slab and Real Nature and Cappy McCappy, Kandahar. Uh, just let them be. I appreciate your perspective. It's EFO. Just let them be. I'm about 30% on your side. 70% of me is convinced that we just can't let this be. It's too important to discover. Humanity needs it. The Sasquatch need it. Back in the beginning of my research, I would say I was like 51%, you know, do the discovery, and 49% let them be. So I really respect and appreciate your perspective. And it's hard for me because, with this discovery, there'll be damage, there'll be bad things that happen. But I think bad things can already happen. People can hunt them. People that know they exist, and they'll hunt them right now, uh, which is preposterous. Don't hunt a Sasquatch. But yeah, Sasquatch Wizard, Sasquatch Adirondacks. The first three episodes of Wild TV are the Adirondacks of New York. What a wonderful place it is. I'm so excited to get back there and hang out with you, Sasquatch Wizard. I hope things are going well for you. Good evening, my friend. I am looking forward to coming back to New York State and doing some. That's happening as sure as corn chitlins in June. That's gonna happen. I'm going back to New York State. Just looking at the footage and the pictures and the way it was in New York and the Adirondacks, for me, it's a very beautiful, special place. I feel very connected to New York. I feel really connected to Alabama. The Talladega Forest was beautiful for me there. And there's tons of Sasquatch stuff going on in the Talladega Forest. I never found a track. I never had any significant sighting that I would even give 1 point to, where I heard a sound that I thought was a Sasquatch, but I had a feeling, and that's not good evidence. But it wasn't about that. It was about me dealing with they have cottonmouths, also known as water moccasins, and then the copperheads and the snakes. So I learned how to really manage them very comfortably by experts. I knew how to manage. We have rattlesnakes that I've dealt with, so I just had to learn how to really safely guide people through that kind of terrain. I learned about scorpions and the bugs and the plants and other animals. But Alabama just has a special place in my heart forever. That terrain was gorgeous, and I intend to take my children back there every year, once a year, and just go back to that beautiful forest and just love it. And I was there in August when everybody told me don't go there; it's too hot. Man, I love the heat. I love those extremes and everything in between. So yeah, what I don't like is spring and fall when my snow is melting. I just want summer and winter. I'm a summer and winter guy. So hey, Jonathan again, and Royal Creations. I can relate regarding ancient languages. I lecture on Aramaic language and Near Eastern culture. Cool. Royal Creations is there's a lot of. It doesn't surprise me that you have that kind of educational knowledge and background. There's something very special about you, my friend, and I'm very happy that you come on here. I'm very happy that you guys come back and watch my show. Just that's so awesome, guys. I love spending this time with you guys. I feel like it's good therapy for me to come and do this show. Todd, the government covering it up, aren't they? Absolutely, Ben. Absolutely. Like they are covering this up. There's so much evidence to substantiate that. It's absolutely ridiculous to not. Once the discovery is made, I'll talk about the cover up, but the discovery needs to come out first. There has to be focus. The laser focus has to be get this discovery done. I don't worry about conspiracies. I don't want to worry about paranormal. I want to get to the facts. I want to get this done, get through all the other crap, get it done. So I don't want to hear excuses. I don't want to hear why I can't. No excuses. Like in my 3 year deadline that I officially slammed to you guys today, I won't make any excuses. It's gonna get done. Like I am confident. I just have to have my chains broken free, and a couple things are gonna fall into place. And always a miracle or two come into my life. Just I get miracles that pop up. That's why I'm out here doing this. That's why I'm cooperating. That's why I want to talk to you guys, because miracles pop up here and there. People want to help, and I can't do this by myself. I'm not doing this by myself. I haven't been doing this by myself for so many years. Those days were hard, and yeah, and life risking, dangerous, hard days. And there's no need for me to do that anymore because I have such wonderful people that just support and are you, to see my first expedition that I took, just people out. Like it was after I did the Survivor Mans. I took these it was Scout, Jonathan and Cody. I remember my expeditioners. This is my first expedition. And man, I'll tell you, when a Sasquatch kind of charged at us and we didn't know it was a Sasquatch yet, we thought it was maybe a bear. It was right before Scout had showed up. So Sasquatch smashes over a tree, charges at us, and then walks off. Jonathan and Cody were like Jonathan. He's a U.S. Ranger, like military ranger, but he picks up a shotgun, this tactical shotgun, is like owning it, right? Cody pulls out a big knife, and these guys got they're shoulder to shoulder with me, like nobody's touching Todd Standing while I'm here, not on my watch. And I'm there going, nobody's messing with my expeditions. I got a 44 Magnum Smith and Wesson Stealth Hunter, cocked, loaded, and ready to go. And when we knew it was a Sasquatch, put the gun away, and I looked back, and these two dudes had my back, and they just did it because they're gonna fight and die defending Todd Standing. They met me in 2 days. How honored was I to feel that way? And these great men that came out and trusted me with their lives, literally, I'm never going to let them down. They're going home to their wives. They're going to go home to their families. People come on an expedition with me, and it's all on the line, guys. I mean, you put your lives in my hands. When you come on expedition, I've taken out over 100 people now. Just even like dumbass film crew meatheads, from California. Dumbasses fly out and do stupid stuff. Camera guys, mic, sound guys, directors doing dumbass stuff. Take care of my people, and because I know the horrors of what a bear can do, what a mountain lion can do. Like I know the horrors of it, and I don't take any chances. And it's the point of this is the people that have just shown up and the expeditioners. Cody's a lifelong friend. You know, I still talk to Scout. He's amazing. Jonathan, when I went to Alabama, Jonathan's in Georgia. He came out and saw me and brought his family. Like these are people. These are brothers now and sisters that are just new family members. It's like we went to a war together, and a very special bond happens, and it's magnificent. It's like my life is. I am a full-time Sasquatch researcher. This is what I do thanks to you guys a lot. If you want to make a donation, go to my Patreon account. It's Todd Standing on Patreon, making a monthly donation. Really legitimately, this is all I do. Is I make videos, I do post-production, all these things. I'm making movies, I talk to people, I do shows. Like my number one job, my job that I do is I'm a Sasquatch researcher. So if I fill out a T4, I have to put director, but I'm a Bigfoot director, right? I direct Bigfoot movies in order to help the discovery move forward. Everything I do is about this discovery, everything. So, and I'm I have such a wonderful life, just so magnificent, and I'm so grateful for you guys for your support. It's amazing. Bouncer Slab and Real says we don't like to bother them, but they get in our way occasionally while picking wild edible mushrooms. It's there. Is there a remedy for this situation without quitting mushroom hunting? Okay, so let's break this down. So we don't like to bother them, but they get in our way occasionally while picking wild edible mushrooms. I'll tell you something right now. They are not getting in your way by accident. There is no accident with them. Everything that's happening, they're doing it, they're testing you. You're also dealing with a very bold species. They're very test your metal. They don't want friends that are weak. They don't want people that are twitchy. If I see somebody twitchy like that, I sit down and have a conversation. You got to calm down. You can't be twitchy like that. It's very, very unhealthy for you, and it's going to get you in trouble in the wilderness. You can't act like prey. So they're just testing you, I think. If there's Sasquatch around, you're not bothering them, and they're just communicating stuff with you. And if it seems bothersome, it's not. If they don't want you there, you're going to know. There's going to be no, I think they're bothering me. This is a little annoying. No, they're playing with you. They're enjoying you. Um, I'd be very doubtful that you were messing with their food sources at all. Uh, I would just say don't quit mushroom hunting. Just go have fun with them. Play into it. Enjoy it. Have fun. Feed off of it. If they're picking on you or there's something bothersome, bother them a little bit. It's a game they want to play, right? Boys that like girls will pick on the girls, right? So go play with it. Go enjoy it. If you're having Sasquatch interactions, my God, people come from all over the world to go on expedition with me to get Sasquatch interactions. Go enjoy yourself. Congratulations. There's something special about you because you're having Sasquatch interactions. They don't just do that with anybody. Most people they'll totally stay away from. So don't be bothered by it. Go embrace it. Go enjoy it. Go relish in it. Research it. Or maybe don't research it. Maybe it's happening so organically and so nice to you. Just give them respect, appreciate them. And maybe they're trying to teach you something. I'm always learning stuff from them. They're always trying. If somebody goes out there with a love and passion for the wilderness, a teacher wants to teach you. They're attracted to that. One of my favorite things to do in the whole world is snowboarding. I absolutely lose my mind snowboarding. Give me boot deep powder, and I'm the happiest camper you ever saw. I love snowboarding. I teach snowboarding for free. I see somebody snowboarding and having a hard time, I go help them because I want them to love it the way I love it. It just propagates that. People are like that with golf, with football, the coaches that work for free and teach football because they love it, right? So the Sasquatch are just like that. They're so passionate about the wilderness. They love it so much. And they want you to love it too. And they want you to appreciate it. And they see that you're missing something. They'll try to communicate with you to help see that thing that's missing. You're really dealing with amazing, intelligent, spiritually connected, brilliant species. Amazing. So go relish in it. That's my only piece of advice for you. Just go, congratulations, and go enjoy it. So keep it up. Hi, Andy. Driving home from work. Can't type much, but love you all. Thank you, Sasquatch Wizard. Ever heard of Kandahar Giant? Somebody brought that up already today. So no, I haven't researched it at all. Virginia Sukuria. Hey, Todd, what age do you think that these subadult males leave the clan? Well, I don't know that they Kubota stayed. Kubota's old. So if they do leave, what I'll tell you is I think Jake was about 18, 19 when he left. So broke my heart. And I miss him. But yeah, I just went. And do the females leave? They would if their dad's still there. There's so many parameters. It's really going to be a complicated situation. And remember, again, this is just my theory. I could be completely wrong. Someone was talking to me about the monogamous theory that they just have their monogamous couples. It could be right. The evidence that I've seen does not substantiate that, but it's something I'm taking into consideration. And I love that this new somebody threw that in my head. So because you got to keep growing, right? You got to keep advancing. But yeah, what I know is the only sub adult that I ever knew that left was Jake, and he was about 18, 19 years old. So and he's gone. When he was gone, he was gone. No sign of him, nothing. He is gone. I think he went to Alaska or Alabama. He is gone. Like nothing, not a sign, not a nothing. If he came around, I would know. I can feel his presence. Jake is very special to me. Like we had so much. He's video 5 of my footage, and he saved my life. Like he was the one that stopped the grizzly bear attack for me. So and just so much stuff. Like it was just I had such an incredible relationship with him for so many years, and now it's Jacob is growing up. It's different though with Jacob. Jake was kind of my first, and we had a real. There was just something about us that we were just so. There was a kindred thing there. I don't really have with Jacob. Jacob's different. Jacob's more on the wild side of Sasquatch, and Jake was more kind of domesticated and curious, and maybe even gentle, bigger, a little stronger. I think That's why Jake left. He needed to go find some girls. He needed to go get a troop. He's he was ready, but just a gentle, wonderful, fast, amazing, incredible Sasquatch. And I hope I get to see him again. So, Sacred Crown, you're full of it. All good, Jonathan. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Kirk Seltzer, hello to you, sir. Yeah, compressed vegetation for sure. Oh, IP man, compressed vegetation. We're talking about tracks, I'm assuming. I'll try to get my drone. That area looks good for some. Well, I don't know how good a drone would be. I like to, man, when I'm boots on the ground, I'm feeling things, smelling things. And when I say feeling things, I mean my energy is there. I'm really primordial, and I want to feel it and smell it and get onto the earth and touch it. So I couldn't see, like when people show me footage, I'm very skeptical about footage, pictures. I'm very skeptical about because I just have to be there, have to touch it. That's who I am. I am boots on the ground. Jimmy Chilcott named me that. I'll never forget. So when I was doing my court case, I wanted Jimmy Chilcott to come testify, and he'd heard stuff, and people are always trying to talk to him and stuff. So I talked to him on the phone. He asked me a bunch of questions, and he goes, "You're not like other researchers." I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, you're really out there in it." So he called Jeff. He watched my movie, and then he called me back, and he says, "I'm going to testify for you, kid." This is quite a while ago. This is maybe 5 or 6 years ago. And I go, "Well, I really appreciate that. Thank you very much, sir." Because you are boots on the ground. I get all these guys, and they're theorizing and blah blah blah. They never get out there, and I've been saying this for a decade. We need some boots on the ground, and from that moment on, Jimmy Chilcott named me Boots on the Ground, and that's who I am. I am Boots on the Ground. I love theorizing. I love what Jeff Meldrum does. I love what John Bitternagel does. I love their theories. I love their science. I adore that stuff. It's such an enormous asset. However, I am at heart and soul Boots on the Ground, Survivor Man style. Like I like to get out there, and Survivor Man is so boots on the ground. I mean, he embraces science and intellect. Survivor Man is, yeah, very amazing when it comes to his thoughts and his process and his organizational skills. I mean, second to none. But he's all about, he does all that stuff. He is technical, and he is scientific and highly intelligent and organized about his things because he wants to love his boots on the ground time. I know it because I've seen it and I lived it. Man, he loves the bush. So his happiest times in his life was when he was poor and just guiding people. Now it's complicated with TV shows and the money deals and all the other business of it. It takes a lot out of it. And he told me the happiest times of his life is just when he didn't have the money and the fame, and he was just loving the wilderness because he is boots on the ground, and that's why he puts up with all the business and the corruption and the negativity that's out there, because of his love of boots on the ground, that passion. So I think Jeff Meldrum's such a I would never assume, but Jeff Meldrum loves his lab. He loves his office. He's a teacher. He's so wonderful at it. He's got great theories. So I think he's more of an office kind of guy, more on that side of it, right? Not all, just that's just my opinion from what I've seen. So and we're so grateful to have Jeff Meldrum, and the work that he does is just amazing. So there's, thank you, Andy. Put up a link to the Patreon, or you can go to my website, discoveringbigfoot.org. There's a donation button there. Make a monthly donation, $10, $20, whatever is real. Don't make a donation if you can't afford it. If it's not really comfortable for you, please don't make a donation. I don't want just don't do it if it's not extremely easy for you. If it's $20, some give you $50 a month. If it's really comfortable and doesn't bother you, in fact, if it makes you happy knowing that this money goes to the research, then people love dolphins, people love the caribou, people love the gorillas, and they donate to them. And I was a gorilla donator for a very long time. And yeah, if you're passionate about Sasquatch and you want this discovery done, it's what I do. It's what we do, isn't it? It's what we do. So we're all about that. WT Smart, you have the best evidence to date, and thank you for your research and honesty. Well, thank you. Got a real problem with that word best, though. I have great evidence, and I love my evidence, but there's no evidence competition. I don't compete with anybody. That's your opinion, and I'm very grateful for what you said. Thank you. But a lot of great evidence out there, and if there's ever a best evidence competition, I'm not going to show up to it because I don't want to compete. I don't want to say I'm better than anybody else. I'm an original, and I do things in my own way. But I'm teaching people now so much as I get older, and the hip starts hurting, and I fall down off a mountain. I take a few more minutes to get up than I used to, right? Because I'm not going to be young forever. But I'll tell you, I've burned so hard. I've been that candle that burned twice as bright, twice as hard, took twice as much energy. I can see me just smoothly aging and teaching young men and women about what I know, passing on this knowledge, sharing it with the whole world in books and movies, in the field. And it's going to be a real smooth transition into I'll never retire, ever. Never. I will never quit. I'll be an old man with a straw in my mouth going to Bigfoot conferences. Bob Gimlin told me this. People were kind of, I was at the Sasquatch Summit in Washington, which I was very grateful to go to. Jeff Meldrum came there, John Bitternut came there, and Survivor Man all showed up, and a lot because I was there. I know Survivor Man showed up because I was there. But people were really, there were some haters there that were barking on me. And Bob Gimlin saw my Sasquatch stuff, supported me, and he got an award, which he well deserved, for a lifetime achievement for Sasquatch research and work. And he stood up on a table. He told everybody, he says, "Todd, I want you to know this. 20 years ago, I was you, and they were mocking me and laughing at me. And he says, in 20 years, they're going to give you one of these." And he's right. And I know he's right. I'll call it. It's because I am telling the truth, and I know it. And the tree breaks, the tree structures, the upside down things, and my photographic evidence, and all the theories that I have are going to come out as that's the way they are. I know it because that's what I do. It's why I have success. Don't take my word for it. Come out with me and I will show it to you. That's what I do. So I'm extremely confident in what I am and what I can do, because I'm getting that success. And so that'll be what happens when I'm an old man and I've worn out my knees and my hips and my muscles are all kinked up and I can't move my head anymore because that last time I fell off a mountain, I broke my jaw. I'll be that guy, and I'll love it forever. So, as even there's other levels, right? When the discovery comes out, there'll be new levels and new things that we discover about them. What's happening is we're kind of at a plateau. Once the discovery is made, it'll go way up. We'll have so much information. How many are in a group? Is it male dominated? Is there monogamous groups? How fast can they actually run? How much they eat? What's their caloric intake? What do they eat? Where are they wintering? Like, there's 1,000 questions I could sit here. It'll all get answered, and that's what that's what the discovery does. Changes everything forever. So Cappy says, I have 2 drones and a new one I just purchased has a zoom. Well, that's fantastic. And I have a colleague who has a new drone. The DJI, I have an old DJI over there. It's not flying so great. Better fly high because they probably could hear as good as oh, they could hear so good. Yeah. And their sense of smell is very good too. So at a drone in the wilderness, man, you could hear that you're not going to be able to mask that sound. You hear that for miles and miles. Before you could ever get a shot, you'll hear the drone. And I have no doubt about that. They're not as quiet as they are compared to the way they were 5 or 6 years ago. It's screaming loud in a wilderness where everything is silent. I can go out on expedition with people and talk to them like this all week, day and night, and they hear me loud as can be, and I love it. So, is there any way to watch the TV show from Wild TV if you don't have normal TV? Oh, you'll watch it all. I'll make sure it gets out there. The network's got to have its run at it, but it'll all come out. So, have you ever witnessed a Sasquatch mating? Excellent question. Re Rico Orange 16? Absolutely not. Nothing to do with that. Wild TV, when is that coming out? Right away. I think I thought it was last week actually. So I got to get my butt in gear and get these episodes done, and they're gonna be good. So and this is IP Man says like a dog, so many parts per million per trillion. Yeah, I don't think they can't smell as good as a dog. There's just no way. But they have excellent sensory perceptions. Very, very impressive. So Bouncer Slab and Reel. I grew up with the wild man of the woods in northern Minnesota, but I seem to have had more interactions with more friendly big people in the woods of Pennsylvania. They are protectors. I agree. This is a good way to describe them. Protectors, shadow guardians, Sylvanic. My old website, was the Sylvanic documentary, which is Savanuk is the native translation, and it means shadow guardian of the mountain. Sa is shadow, Van is to guard, and Nuk is mountain in Old Assiniboine, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, so Sa Vanuk, shadow guardian of the mountain. Awesome. Isn't that a cool name? I love that. Sylvanic. So I see Todd Stanley Institute with I see it. There'll never be a Todd Stanley Institute, my friend at Royal Creations. Never. There will never be a Todd Stanley video. They're the Sylvanic videos, they're the Sasquatch videos. There are videos. I do it for the discovery. I guess people will be calling that a little them that, but I call them video 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I know I have 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So they're just the Sasquatch videos, and I don't want them called like the Patterson footage is wonderful, and I'm very happy it's named that way. I don't want the videos. There's so many people and so many layers that went into getting this done, and I just don't want to take that kind of credit for it. I just don't. So Todd could open a Bigfoot Discovery Center. Absolutely. Discovering Bigfoot research centers all across North America. There's a dream. Yes. And have that idea and designs for it. I'd love to do that. Just last couple years have been crazy with COVID and life with me. But yeah, and that all that stuff is coming. You got a lot of goodies in there, Todd, for sure. Yes, I do. So Trevor Archer, cool. Looking forward to that. Yes, me too. So much so. Let's don't don't pay no attention to the haters. I don't. I be nice, like constructive criticism. But yeah, please give me a shout from Columbus, Georgia. First time out here. Hey Tammy. So shout out to Tammy. Please give me a shout out. There you go. You got it. Columbus, Georgia. I love Georgia. So excited to get back there. I love that whole Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee area. Uh, just love it there. Andy says, I give you that one, scared clown. However, you can't be so sure of your opinion. It's an opinion, and a lot of my stuff is theories, right? And it could be wrong. So prove me wrong, and I'll embrace it and love it, and let's go that way. Todd, thanks for bringing us Bigfoot. You are welcome, sir. It is my pleasure. Rodney Robertson, Mel T. L. Head, I believe you. Well, thank you very much. Thank you, Todd, for all your hard work on this journey. Thank you for your support. Number one, Tara Who. Joker John Roberts, is it possible that they can camouflage themselves and you should re-watching all your videos and see if they're probably there, but camouflage? Absolutely. Oh yeah, absolutely. Uh, I've seen them do things that this is something I didn't talk about. I saw a Sasquatch swaying with the trees like this. I was almost mesmerized by it. I'm like, I'm looking over. I'm like, that's a Sasquatch standing there. And his shape was there, but it was weird because he was just moving with the tree like it was like a dance, just a gentle movement, and it almost hypnotized me to go, "What? It can't be a Sasquatch because they can't perfectly like the wind would blow the tree and the Sasquatch would just move." And he was not. He was behind the tree. We actually took the photograph of the two footprints, and he would just as the tree swayed, he would move perfectly. And that's not. I don't do that. And if you didn't sway, you would stand out, right? It's you want to blend. It's part of what they do and the layers of intellect, of intelligence, of blending that they do, the mastery that they have is well beyond my comprehension, well beyond my knowledge at this time. The only one that can help me and show me and teach me that stuff is a Sasquatch. And I would be so honored and privileged to do that. That's a dream of mine is for a Sasquatch to just come down, be my teacher, and teach me. And that's some people go out stalking, some people go out scared and twitchy, some people go out with good calm and serenity. I try to go out with good calm and serenity, but with the thought of teach me, with the thought of the from the very beginning when I thought Sasquatch wasn't real. The truth of it is that's all I wanted was the truth. I wanted to discover the truth. So I was convinced they weren't real in the very beginning, but I got through it and realized they were real because I was looking for the truth. And that's my intent is the truth. My intent is to make the world a better place because I love it. I love this beautiful planet. I'm very passionate about the environment, about nature, about the organic, wondrous miracle of this beautiful planet that we live on. I love the oceans and the forests and the mountains and the rivers. I can go on all day. Just absolutely adore this gorgeous planet. And, uh, and I'm passionate about that. This is my contribution to making the world a better place is the discovery of Sasquatch. And if it's even just a little tiny bit, then I'm honored and privileged to have made that the standings, the Standing Institute of Sasquatch, Royal Creation just won't quit. I just don't want to. I just don't want my name on it. I really don't. Earlier, it was my intention to just make this discovery, then segue out of it. It's done. See you later. I'll go do something else. Now there's no chance of that. There's no chance of that. I'm way too deep into it, and I accept that and I embrace that. But the Standing Institute of Sasquatch, it kind of has a nice ring to it. So the Standing Institute. Oh man. Bigfoot Mama, Bouncer, thank you. I live in Northwest Pennsylvania. I've never been to Northwest Pennsylvania. I hear it's gorgeous though. Gotta love your home, right? Stockton, California, here for support. Well, thank you very much, George. I hear a lot about Stockton, lots and lots. The Stockton boys, the Nate and Nick Diaz, and other stuff. So, hello, Todd. I want you to know we love your shows. My sisters and I, we all, we are all elderly and just enjoy your truth. Enjoy your truth. Thank you so much. I'm so honored, Anna. Well, to you and your sisters, thank you so much for your support and for watching the show and tuning in and the energy that you give. Gosh, I hope you guys can feel it. Thousands of people are watching my stuff right now. That energy is coming to me right now. I could go on YouTube and I have all those videos. It's more than that. Tens of thousands of people are watching me day and night. Hundreds of thousands during prime time are watching me every single day. And people think about you and give you that energy. Survivor Man taught me that because, man, millions of people are watching him all the time. And I felt it. I felt his energy, and it's really wonderful. So I have no trouble being really humble. Get my ass kicked a lot. I get beat down. Uh, this world kicks your ass, right? Like the world is a harsh place and doesn't have much sympathy. And I've had my ass beat, whipped down, burned up. The worst of the worst has happened to me. Post traumatic stress disorder. The world has chewed me up and spit me out. And it's hard. It's really hard. I didn't know what post-traumatic stress disorder was, and now I do. So it's not anything to do with Sasquatch. Just there's a lot of cruelty and horrible. Uh, it's just evil, so much, and family is so important. So thank you, Andy. Do hit the thumbs up icon, and let's just try to get your circle and be happy and find your happiness in the circle. And that's what I'm fighting for right now. So the day watchers look like they're wearing some kind of camouflage. That says Joe Snow. They look like they're wearing some kind of camouflage. I don't think so, Joe. They're just brown. They just look like that. I never, they're just Sasquatch being Sasquatch. I don't see it, Joe. Appreciate your comment. Maybe you could explain a little more. And there's you guys can send me emails and stuff. So uh, got to be specific about that's a deep question, and they have the dirt on them, they have the trees on them. When you move to the wilderness, the trees get caught in your hair. You get dirt on you, and that's camouflage, right? It just happens. So, Ben Baller has a question. You have footage. Why? What more do you need? But it's always different, Ben. One thing I'll tell you, man. Every time something happens, some piece of footage, there's like 100 new pieces of knowledge, and it's about building that knowledge and growing and expanding. And you know what, Ben? There's a better piece of footage. There is a piece of footage that somebody can acquire, and I would hope it's me, that will end this discovery. Somebody can get the piece of footage where it's Sasquatch moving and eye blinking and body and breathing and chest and all that stuff. I'm saying this because I had it. I had that piece of footage during that grizzly bear attack, and then I fell in the water. But when I recorded that piece of footage that would convince the world, I knew it, and I never knew that piece of footage could exist until I was literally filming it. In case you don't know, so two Sasquatch, Jake and Jacob, came out because a grizzly bear was stalking me to hunt me and kill me, and they were trying to get me to turn around and look at the grizzly bear just real quickly. And I'm filming them. I don't care if there's a grizzly bear stalking me. I didn't think about it. And so when the grizzly bear, and I'm in a river, and when the grizzly bear bashed into to made the predatory charge at me to kill me, I spun around and it was in a river and the water was flowing and I slipped and fell and dropped my camera while it was recording. Never found that camera again. The point of it though is it taught me that there is a piece of footage that somebody can get that'll change it all. With our cameras today, we can do a lot better than the Patterson Gimlin. Somebody can get a 4K piece of footage that's an organic, really living, perfect video of a Sasquatch and blow the whole lid right off this discovery. And I'll be right there to support it. My footage or somebody else's, when I see it and I recognize it, nobody will be happier about it than me. And that piece of footage can be gotten, it can get done. Somebody can do it. That's why I make my movies. That's why I'm talking right here, is I'm doing everything I can to help facilitate that piece of footage that'll change things. And there's more than that. Maybe a skull can be discovered, not just by a forensic anthropologist who knows what a Sasquatch skull will look like, right? So, Rodney Robertson, just a couple more questions. Rodney Robertson, Bigfoot, very spiritual. Todd, do you believe that? No, I don't believe that. I know it. Their spirituality is as strong and as powerful as their physicality. Think about that. Twice as strong as a gorilla, the fastest, strongest thing I've ever seen. They'll whoop a young, approximately 14-year-old Sasquatch, barely a teenager, whooped the ass of a fully grown grizzly bear, Canadian grizzly bear, fully grown, whooped his ass, no problem. They're so impressive physically, what they can do physically, and they're that impressive spiritually. Seen it, I felt it, I lived it. They're the shaman to I believe they're the teachers and the shaman to the First Nations and Native Americans. The Native American spirituality is based on what Sasquatch taught them, and I have significant evidence to substantiate that and prove that. So, um, yeah, that's the show for today, guys. So, immensely spiritual beings, my teachers when it comes to spirituality, my greatest teachers when it comes to spirituality. So, and I'm not saying that lightly. I've been mentored by great men and women. Survivor Man, one who you know of, very, very spiritual, a shaman, an absolute elite level shaman. And the Sasquatch are I've learned the most from them, but I've also spent the most time with them, and I haven't spent nearly that much time with Survivor Man. So yeah, and then just Steve says, my dog does that. They won't come out if you're a jerk. There you go. Right intent. So dogs and people do that, children do that. Um, And George asks, so when you take photos and videos, how close? Just watch my movie, George, Discovering Bigfoot. It's on YouTube. It's on Amazon Prime. And I put everything I had into it. Everything that I had up until 2017. That's the best of everything I've ever done. I put my heart and soul into that. I put my best footage in that. There's nothing more I can do. I told the whole truth. I gave you as much information as I can in Discovering Bigfoot the movie. Go give it a watch. You might enjoy. I hope you enjoy it, because it's just me that made it, though. Me and my computer, a little bit of help here and there, and mentorship. But uh, not a lot of names at the end of that. A lot of consultant people that helped me, but that movie was written, directed, produced, shot, cut, edited, all by Todd Standing. So it's the best of what I could do, and I did it for the discovery of Sasquatch, heart and soul. So thank you very much, John. Appreciate it. I am Canadian. I'm a Northman. I'm just a Northman. I don't even. I like to separate U.S. and Canada because we're. Anyways, good evening to you all. ML, good evening to you, and Kevin. You're just lying down. I'll end it with Kevin. Discovering Bigfoot was one of the most mind-blowing things I've ever seen. I tell everyone to watch it. Thank you so much, Kevin. What an honor and a privilege it is to be supported by men and women like you. Thank you so much. That's why I did it. That was what all the hard work was. Believe me, there was no financial remuneration for it. I'll never get what I put back into that movie financially, but emotionally, spiritually, socially, I've gotten back 100 times more than I ever expected. Probably most of you are watching this because of what Survivor Man did with me, or what you saw on Netflix with my movie, and it's now on YouTube and Amazon Prime. Thank you so much for those of you who donated. I'm sorry I didn't get down to you to thank you personally. Really, really appreciate that. That donation goes absolutely to the discovery of Sasquatch, heart and soul. It's what I do. It's what I'm devoted to. Don't take my word for it. Watch the Survivor Mans. Watch Discovering Bigfoot. Talk to my expeditioners. It's what I do. It's what I love. It's what I'm passionate about. And the big thing on this show today was I'm giving it 3 years, and this discovery is done, finished, finito. Absolutely set it up. UFOs are real. That's an accepted, known thing now. That discovery is moving forward slowly, but it's accepted, and I expect Sasquatch. 3 years done, accepted, proven. If I have to kick down the door, or they just open it because it's just so overwhelmingly factual, one way or another, we're going to get it done. So thank you so much for tuning in today. There will not be a show next week, but I hope there's a show the week after that, just depending on how the world kicks my ass, or how it rewards me and gives me goodness. So, but there'll be more shows, and really appreciate your time today, and you know, keep your thoughts and positivity. I'm out in the bush fighting for this discovery, and I appreciate all your positive energy, your good thoughts, your skepticism, and donations in any other way. Telling people about it like Kevin's doing. Precisely, what did he say? He tells everybody to watch it. That's big power, because that movie is about the discovery of Bigfoot. That's what it's for. It's your movie, Kevin. It's all of your movie. It's yours. Take it, show the world. The Survivor Mans are yours. It's all about proof that this species exists. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll see you in a couple weeks. Take care until then.